All the way in the bottom left-hand corner, we have a blue Terran player coming down from the land of Poland. He is currently teamless and also a fellow caster in the Polish language. Not for this event, but for many others. We have ziGGy.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, we have the Russian Zerg player. He's red, representing himself. It is Vanya.
Oh boy, it's all flooding back to me.
Okay, all right.
Was this a dream I had, like a fever dream I had, Light, or did I actually cast a game where ziGGy went 4 Rax Reaper into 4 Factory Mech? Never once got a starport.
Last week we casted ziGGy versus Raynor, I think. If you remember, it was after But Always versus Go-Go Joey, and they had like an incredibly long series, and then we just jumped into a series with ziGGy, if I recall correctly, and then it just ended in like 10 minutes. It was crazy. I loved it.
It's all flowing back to me. What is it about this man and his refusal to get starports?
I love
great mysteries.
So okay, so what I was about to say is that things are about to pop off in multiple ways, because ziGGy, he's not a standard player, right? He's going 3 Rax Reaper right now.
That's a bit of an understatement.
Meanwhile, Vanya, the only Zerg player in Europe who's more aggressive than Vanya, is Bly. He opened up with a gas pool hatch opening. Ling speed is already on the way, and Lings are already in production.
Yeah, that's definitely one way of countering the Reapers. Just negating their mobility straight out. Get link speed. Get it early.
It's one of those things. How do you stop the madness? You embrace the madness, mate. That's how you do it.
I'm so glad I stayed up for this.
Let's go. Reaper shows up. There's already a queen here. He sees the timing on the hatchery. The Ling's are already out. He knows what he is now up against. But yo, if he's not careful, he's going to lose the Reaper.
Oh! Tried to juke a jive, and he is ahead of the Lings for now. Link speed not quite done. Why is he moving back into the Lings?
The first Reaper. Yeah, it gets taken down without Link speed, mate.
Bud is an absolute god. What can I say?
Vanya's so good with his defense so far. The Reaper count already, a little bit weaker than it otherwise could have been. The Reapers still are on the way, but Link speed finishes, and now these Reapers are just gonna be chased down.
Yeah, that is what causes Vanya to pull the trigger. He is gaining momentum on top of every single one of these Reapers, trying to pin them to a corner, but ziGGy, he's got lubed up Reapers. That won't save them, though.
Yeah,
from the wrath of the swarm.
Exactly. His Reapers do get swarmed. 2 of them already going down. A couple more being surrounded. And mate, this opener is just being shut down. Oh my god.
Completely and utterly. I want to say Vanya did his homework going up against ziGGy, but this is also kind of how Vanya likes to play, to be fair.
It really is. It really is. And in the end, Vanya shuts the majority of that down. He's already got a 3rd base on the way. He doesn't have a massive drone lead by any means. And ziGGy does have his natural on the way. But what Vanya lacks in drones, he makes up for in links.
That he does. Not really going to be able to do any damage just yet, but once the Bailey Nest gets thrown down, he can try to pull something off. At the very least, he has absolute map control.
That's the thing. Honestly, if Vanya had resumed gas mining and thrown down a Baliness, I think he could probably win the game, because the factory is so delayed. So there's no tanks, there's no Widow Mines. A Bane Bust would work so well here, but Vanya only just now resumes mining that gas.
And he does. All of the rest of his tech is going to be so delayed, but on the plus side, hatcheries and drones, they don't cost gas.
This is true. This is very true. You know, he's just droning up, getting his bases up and running. More queens are on the way. Vanya is sitting back pretty. And ziGGy, what is his follow-up going to be?
I'm breathing such a sigh of relief here, Light. I am so glad that he's getting stimmed this time instead of following up 4 Rax Reaper with 4 factories. That was an incredible game to witness, but yeah, he is doing something a lot more sensible this time. Still no starport, though.
Yeah, very interesting here because he went for a fast OTC, so he wants to catch back up economically, and the Madman throws down 2 eBays. He wants to get upgrades up and running.
That he does. Not even going to be satisfied with just +1 weapons. He needs that armor too. And with triple orbitals, with all the mules that you can get, and with that SCV production, you can absolutely catch up to the Zerg player, even if they have been droning for the past half a minute or so.
This is true. This is true. You can catch up with those mules with that triple CC. Is it going to be enough though? Because Vanya already has the lair on the way, already has the Baneling nest on the way. I imagine Baneling's speed is going to be not too far behind that. We don't have the gases for mutas, so I'd be surprised if he went for the Spire. Regardless, straight up Ling Bane, it's going to be so difficult for ziGGy to expand and take a third.
That it will. Straight up Ling Bane is also going to be even more difficult for ziGGy to deal with without Medivacs. There's that starport. I'm so proud of him.
He's learning, he's evolving. Oh god, it's happening. Starport's on the way, so we are going to be seeing Medivacs eventually at some point. Without Medivacs, it is going to be really difficult to push out across the map, so ziGGy is just focusing on his defenses, focusing on getting this third base up and running. We have a really nice tank positioning here on the high ground, and there we go. We have that mass investment into that ground army of Vanya. But still, you know,
mass Ling Bane for now, yeah.
Still just focusing on his
straight to high from here.
He probably, well, that's the thing, ziGGy's not going to be moving out soon, or he shouldn't be moving out soon, so Vanya could just go straight to Hive.
Yeah, he's absolutely free to tech up as quickly as he sees fit, to even be, okay, maybe not as greedy, because the Reapers, funnily enough, are still a bit of a threat to isolated bases. Once he gets that creep going, then he really doesn't have much to worry about.
This is true. This is very true. Meanwhile, ziGGy just testing the waters a little bit with his Reapers, kind of utilizing them as you would Hellions, as he doesn't have any Hellions available to him. Meanwhile, 1-1 about to finish up, and ziGGy, he's looking to get straight into 2-2. Yep, there we go. He had the armory ready. What
a madman. Not what I expected from ziGGy, just based on past reputations.
Right?
I didn't think we'd even get this long of a game.
Yeah, it's crazy. There it is. Infestation Pit gets thrown down for that Hive that we were talking about. Vanya, I imagine, wants to get straight into those Ultras. And again, tech-wise, he's going to be so far ahead here.
Yeah, invested in them a lot quicker. Definitely didn't help that the opening kind of slowed ziGGy down. Beautiful surround on top of those Reapers. Splits, unfortunately, not quite there on the Marines, and they will eat a Baneling connection to the face.
Yeah. That was not the best trade there for ziGGy. Is he really feeling like pushing out right now? He does have his Medivacs, but okay. He's not that crazy. Just
push. To be a little bit active.
Yeah,
so wants to be a little bit active here, try to clear creep wherever he sees fit, but.
Yeah, so far he's doing a decent job, but again, the Ling Bane, oh my god, he's trying to get a wraparound. He is deterred by the tanks, though.
The one thing really keeping ziGGy alive right now, Vanya, you can tell he's waiting to pounce. He wants to get on top of every single Marine, every single tank. But it's kind of hard to do when you have 5 tanks. All siege up.
Exactly. Like, this is a beautiful defensive position here for ziGGy. I'm trying to break through this with Ling Bane and even Ultras. It's going to be difficult. Not impossible, but it will be difficult here as he's slowly spreading out, you know, slowly leapfrogging forward. The Hive, though, it's about to finish up, and Vanya just wants to defend long enough for that Hive.
Yeah, and if he's not careful, then honestly, Vanya might not even need the Hive.
It's true. It's very true. One wrong move here for ziGGy, he's going to lose his Marines, and then the Lynx can just flood in and take down the tanks if there's nothing to support them.
But he is being as cautious as he can be. He still wants to clear up the creep as quickly as he can. But I like this, he's pulling back. He is not leaving any of his tanks too exposed. I say that as he leaves a bunch of tanks exposed.
Exactly, the Ling Bane rushes on in. Tanks go down, but you know what? A lot of Marines survived. I don't know if you saw, but a lot of those Banelings were wasted on tanks and they got focused down, so that was a pretty decent trade for ziGGy.
Yeah, kind of the complete opposite of what you want to happen as a Zerg player. The Lings were surrounding the Marines, getting mowed down. The Banelings, meanwhile, were connecting on tanks, getting a little bit wasted. Very inefficient trade. Now ziGGy's looking to push in, but he is moving a little too deep into creep, it seems. Very nice hot pickup, and there's no links left to deal with the tanks.
Oh god, but here come the reinforcements, and it's just barely enough here. ziGGy overextending after that good trade. You know, maybe just getting a little bit too ambitious there, and his tank count almost gets reset.
Yeah, only 2 surviving from what I can count. Both of them in the medevacs right now. He is getting to the next phase of the techno, immediately grabs that 3-3. And Liberator production is on the way. Vanya is going to have a significantly more difficult time getting these Ultralists into position.
Yeah, I do appreciate this from ziGGy. Like, even though he hasn't scattered anything since the beginning of the game, he realizes, hey, you're still in Lingbane. I don't see any mutas. I don't see any Hydras or Lurkers. I know you're going into Ultras, so I'm going to get ready for it.
Tech-wise, he definitely is, but again, it's all going to be about positioning here. ziGGy needs to play this out as patient as can be and allow Vanya to trade as efficiently as possible. Inefficiently.
Definitely. Meanwhile, he has to be careful with these Marines and tanks. You don't want to get caught out on siege. It's Vanya. He's hunting down this army.
See him getting caught out on siege, but oh no! The worst time to siege up that tank!
Oh.
Could not be saved by the medevac, and I will say that Vanya, to say he lacks anti-air is a bit of an understatement. He is just not getting anything other than queens that can really attack air units, and ziGGy has been able to utilize this a lot to evacuate his armies, to get those hot pickups in, but I would definitely like to see a couple more drops coming out from our Terran player.
Exactly, like that's the biggest weakness of Vanya right now. That's why the Liberators actually dealt a lot of damage, a surprising amount. Drops would be amazing, but right now in comes Vanya, is going to be able to take out a planetary, takes out a building base as well, and even a couple of tanks. Mate.
Yeah, and these Ultralists are able to find a position around the liberation zones. All of the biomes going down, the tanks are not standing anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
ziGGy is surprisingly catching up on the army supply, but most of them were still in production. GG, Vanya takes game number 1. Not the game I was expecting from the side of ziGGy, but I gotta be honest, I appreciate it.
Yeah, GG. Like, ziGGy, he was doing a decent job holding on there, but as we saw, there was one massive fight that really didn't go his way, where he traded well, you know, basically reset the Banelings, and then he kept going, and it's like, mate, slow down. Like, mate, it's a Zerg player. Reinforcements are on the way, and then once those links came in for Vanya, everything was reset, and then it was all in Vanya's court from there.
Yeah, slow and steady is definitely the name of the game here in TVZ.
Yeah,
really hard to justify a fight that you don't know that you can get out of.
Yeah. Exactly. That's kind of the hard part about tanks, right? Like with Widowmines, you can maybe afford to do that because they're a little bit more mobile, but tanks, they're so stationary. There's so much more of a commitment if you move out with them.
Absolutely. Guess to make up for that, you know, they do have that range, but it's kind of difficult to utilize when you're trying to push into an army like that.
Yeah, exactly. And GG, well played. Vanya does take the first game. Now we are diving into game number 2. My question to you is, mate, how many Raxes?
Oh, man. That depends on the dice roll, doesn't it, for Vanya? Or for ziGGy, rather. Speaking of which, here we are on 2,000 atmospheres, continuing our series. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. We have our red Zerg player coming down from the land of Russia. He is currently the best Zerg player from Russia. Fight me if you disagree. He is, representing himself, he is Vanya.
Feels B, man. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of 2,000 atmospheres, LE, we have the Polish Terran player representing himself, currently down 0-1 in this best of 3 series. It is ziGGy.
Actually, now I think about it, B doesn't B do better in a lot of like Russian events than Vanya?
No, I would stand with you there. I'm pretty sure Vanya's the highest rated Zerg player in Russia. Yeah. Definitely
the one who all the eyeballs are upon. Obviously, when we talk about the Russian players, skill list is obviously the one that we think of first when it comes to these up-and-comers.
Hmm.
But I do like that Russia has a lot of... Russia has been producing a couple of up-and-comers from each race. You know, Milky Cow for Terran, Vanya here for Zerg.
Yeah, yeah. Bratok, you know,
And
there's
plenty of others who, yeah?
yeah, B, who's the other one? There's like Battle B or something like that. I think he's Russian, I could be wrong. But there are a lot of players. Like Russia has a pretty deep pool of players. It's always great to see them do well here. And Vanya is looking quite strong. This time though, not going for that hard counter opening. He did open up with a hatch first.
Yeah, I mean, it is 2,000 atmospheres. He probably doesn't like his chances of going immediately across the map with the links just yet. Will need a couple of them, though, as the Reapers are starting to... The Reaper count is starting to get higher and higher.
Yeah, if you didn't notice, ziGGy went for the exact same opening. 2 racks in the low ground, 1 in the main.
Definitely not a second one in the main yet. So it's a more standard 3 racks Reaper opening. Well, I say standard. As standard as 3 racks Reaper can be in this current meta.
Yeah, this is like the standard ziGGy, you know? This is like 3 racks.
Pretty much.
Let's go. Reaper count's getting higher. This time, he doesn't lose one needlessly early on as well.
And it can definitely start to snowball. Doesn't want to tangle with the queens too much, though. Backs away at the first sign of trouble as he gets more Reapers in.
Yeah, exactly. The Reaper count getting higher. The queens are slowly getting lower, but ooh, one of the Reapers does get sniped.
Yeah, the other one's getting real low. But another Reaper is coming in to replace that. Very quick pull away on the weakened Reaper, but it's still looking mighty vulnerable. Vanya wants it, but he does not want to go off creep. Not with queens, anyway.
Yeah, but you know what, mate? There is the timer. In 10 seconds, Link speed is about to finish, and then Vanya's going to pull the trigger. He's just going to send his Lings across the map and chase down these Reapers.
There's that trigger being pulled. Oh, there's that trigger being pulled. Just trying to draw the Reapers a little bit closer. I feel like the KD8 charge, funnily enough, is making it easier for the Lings to get surrounded on the Reapers.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
2 Reapers immediately surrounded there. ziGGy, now he doesn't have map control. Link speed, it's terrifying. He does back up, but ooh, can he force his denial on this
can he
third?
delay this? Oh, not quite. Zerglings were in position.
That they were. Reapers are forced back. Would you say a transition from ziGGy? Once again, just like game number 1, he throws down a fast third TC and is starting his factory.
Another stim timing should be coming out from our blue Terran player here. And I'm liking his chances a lot more on 2,000 atmospheres, especially if he commits the tanks again. A lot of choke points to utilize, a lot of high ground locations.
Definitely, I think he would have a bit of an easier time compared to a map like Jagannatha, for example. So, oh my god, meanwhile, Vanya getting ready for a surround. Oh my god.
Almost gets it, but the pesky rocks are in the way.
Yo, he wants it.
Never mind, he doesn't need that surround.
Oh.
KD8 charge will save a couple of the Reapers, but also makes it a lot of the other Reapers that much more vulnerable. Utilizing the high ground to chip away at the Lings. But really can't do much more from here.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like the Reapers, some of them anyway, will be able to sneak away. Meanwhile, another Reaper gets caught out. Basically, every single Reaper has gone down. Only 3 managed to escape.
Oh. And I was mentioning how I was looking forward to ziGGy's Marine Textile here, but he's completely switching it up. Yeah. Look. At least it's a 3 racks Reaper in a 4 factory instead of 4 racks Reaper.
Oh my god, he's doing the ziGGy special, mate. It's happening. We saw this in day 1 against Raynor, and now here it is against Vanya, going straight into that mass factory production.
I kind of use like a menu item at this point. We got standard ziGGy, we got the ziGGy special, we got ziGGy Deluxe coming out soon.
Got the ziGGy of the day, you know. It's like, and the problem is that like I've never seen any of it win. You know.
He came pretty close to the last game with the ziGGy standard.
Sure, yeah, he was looking pretty good. So the problem, and why, like when we first saw this in day 1, we were flabbergasted. We were shocked. It was like, mate, can you even produce efficiently from all these factories on 2 base production? The answer was no. But ziGGy now has a third, I guess.
He's adding more to the drawing board here. Adding another factory as well, though, which can definitely cut into the efficiency here. He needs to get those gases up and running as soon as possible.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like right now, he has the production. He doesn't really have the economy though to really utilize all of this. By the way, this is 5 factories, not 4. I think if I recall correctly,
the ratio is still there.
I think last time he made 7. Am I wrong there? I think he had
Something
7
like that,
factories.
yeah, 7 on 2 bases.
Yeah.
I think he can get away with 5 on 3, but he cannot get away with leaving his wall down as the Lynx chip away at the SCVs. Again, this is the biggest weakness of ziGGy's mech style. He needs that economy to sustain all of his production as early as possible. To get it denied this quickly and this significantly,
Yeah.
he's kind of forced all in. Well, not entirely all in, but he needs to equalize the damage.
Exactly, like 16 SCVs, that's an entire mineral line has gone down. And as you said, ziGGy, he just doesn't have the economy to like produce from all of his structures. Like he's got to do something now. He goes across the map, all the lanes were wasted, but now there are roaches and ravagers to defend. Ay, ay, ay.
There's gonna be a lot more where that came from too. Galactic Constitution is about halfway done, and yeah, once Vanya weathers a couple more storms against the Cyclones and the Hellions, he is looking primed for a counterattack. Look at that army supply difference.
It's massive, mate. It's disgusting. It's huge, and Vanya knows it and is about to flaunt it, mate. ziGGy's doing what he can, and to be fair, he is keeping the army of Vanya busy, like because he has to. Like he has nothing at home. There's just nothing there.
Every single unit is being sent across the map because, again, he doesn't have a good chance of trying to out-macro his way from this position. Not when the Zerg players are already on 4 bases.
Oh boy, and here we go. Now that the harassment has been dealt with, Vanya, he's going across the map. What is it to defend? We have
literally price the army supply.
he does. We have some Cyclones. To be fair, Vanya has a lot of army at home because he was assuming there was a counterattack on the way. So this is only half of Vanya's army. So ziGGy, he can thin this out.
And he can, and with Cyclones especially, once they get their lock-ons in, they trade so efficiently, especially against the roaches, but not when they get sandwiched and not when they eat biles.
Yeah, exactly. Here come the reinforcements for Vanya. The entire army is coming across the map. Oh my god, the Hellions get sniped. There's only 4 Cyclones left. That's all that remains. We have a couple more. A tank comes out.